Hey everybody. So I'm in Portland at this writers conference. I actually have a table here, but I'm not sitting at my seat in the table. I'm going around to listen to the talks because I kind of like to hear what's going on in the publishing world and the writing world, especially when you go to writing events like this. It's a lot of writers who haven't published their book yet. There's some fighter jets going up above me. Hold on a second. Anyway, so there's a lot of writers here, and a lot of people are trying to finish their book. They're trying to write their book. They're thinking about publishing their book. And the problem is they have a lot of fear, not only about finishing the work and putting the work out there for other people, but also the overwhelm with they don't know what to do. They don't know if they should find an agent or a publisher. Generally, writers want to find a publisher because they don't want to do the marketing. They don't want to build a platform. That's not actually something you should do. Even if you get a traditional publishing deal, you're going to have to build your own platform and do your own marketing. So avoiding the stuff that you don't want to do is not the solution, but everybody's kind of looking for an antidote to fear. Everybody feels this fear about putting your creative work out into the world. And so I went to 2 talks today, and the really interesting thing about writing and publishing is there are 2 completely diametrically opposed paths to creative productivity that people are very passionate about. And so it's weird to go to a conference where people are basically giving the opposite advice. You can go in one room and hear the exact opposite of what you hear in another room. And these are the 2 kinds of advice. The first one is just write for yourself. That's it. Write for yourself, do it for the passion. Don't worry about your market. Don't worry about your audience. And for them, overcoming the fear is all about confidence. You have to just finish the work, believe in your work, have more confidence, and then you need to go out and tell people about your work, and you need to believe that your work is awesome. And so the antidote to creative fear is just creating more confidence for yourself. And so there are tips or productivity hacks or whatever for becoming more confident with your creative work. I don't think that's actually a good idea. I don't think you need more confidence. I don't think you need to force yourself to become more, outgoing, or if you feel unconfident, if you have a lack of confidence, I don't think the solution is to make yourself do it anyway. Necessarily. Sometimes there's a reason, like if you're avoiding some things because you don't feel comfortable with it, sometimes you need to do it anyway and force yourself through that hurdle. However, I think the real antidote to fear is information. Because like I was saying, I went to one talk where they were like, just feel the confidence, just do it anyway. I went to another talk that's more up my alley. It's all about indie publishing. It was all about statistics. So like if you have a 5-book series and your average customer acquisition value is $7, like the average person who buys and reads book 1 goes on to read, if you know the conversion rate when they read book 1 and book 2 and book 3, if you know that stuff about your books, then you don't need confidence because it's not a risk. You're not just putting your stuff out in the universe and having no idea what happens next. If you don't know what happens next, if you're stepping off that creative plateau into the void and you don't know what's next, of course you feel a tremendous amount of fear. That's normal, and there's no solution to that. You can't just fix that by getting rid of the fear. That doesn't happen. What you can do is step off the bridge anyway and fail, but get data. And if you keep failing, keep getting data until you understand exactly what's happening, what readers like, what readers respond to. If you know the information, it's not a question of do you have enough courage, do you have enough confidence, are you willing to risk it? Because you know what's going to happen. You know exactly how much you can spend to get people in your funnel to buy the book. So I think those are kind of the 2 paths. And the other split that I'm really invested in right now is whether you should write for yourself or whether you should write for other people. And this is also something, generally the indie publishers, the people who are into statistics, and also the people who are making money, the authors who make money with their books, they are usually more about, this is a business, my readers pay me, I need to provide value to my readers. I'm willing to write what my readers like on purpose, and that's not selling out. That's because I've chosen to write things that matter. And this is the interesting thing. A lot of people will say the way to write high quality books that matter is to do it from passion and to do it for yourself first. I don't believe that. I don't think it actually works that way. I think if you focus on your readers first, it's a lot easier to provide high-value books that matter. But you do need to write books that matter. And so the definition of what matters and what is good and what has value, like those definitions is really interesting discussion in the field of creativity. So I'm kind of writing a book about it called Creative Confidence because I think this issue is really important. So I'm kind of working on that. I'm also reading all the books on creativity in general. So I'm going to be doing a lot of book reports and feedback on. I did stuff like this like 6 years ago when I started my platform, but I'm going back and reading all of the big new books on creativity and being basically creative entrepreneurship. So how do you make stuff that's good that also people love and are willing to pay for in a way that's not sleazy, like in a way that's not, okay, I made this great thing, but now I have to do the shitty marketing stuff that I'm uncomfortable with. There should be a way to do that all together. So if you're making good shit that people love, you don't have to do any marketing because it's built into the product. I'm really interested in creating that. So I'm really interested in creating the great books that are also successful because readers love the books, not because I'm really good at marketing or anything like that. Anyway, so I'm going to stop this here. I just want to kind of do a quick update from the writing conference. I might do some other things this weekend while I'm here or interview some other people. There's some cool people here. So I'm kind of here just to meet and listen and feel the pulse of publishing. Like I said, these are a lot more of the writers who are like struggling to finish the first book and then struggling to put the first book out there, which is kind of, I'm a little too deep in the industry, so a lot of my peers are like they've already published 10 or 20 books, so they're not dealing with this confidence issue as much, but the majority of creative people are yet to do the work. They're still working on finishing the work. So I really want to pay closer attention to their problems and their challenges, because I only hear, like in my bubble, I only hear the challenges of people who are like, they know their shit. They know all about Amazon and keywords and categories and writing to market. But there are more people who don't know this stuff yet. So I'm really wanting to kind of figure out where they are and what they need so I can create content that's going to be useful for them. So if you have questions about anything, or let me know down below, like, what are your challenges? What are you struggling with? What are you afraid of? How does courage and confidence relate to the things that you're trying to bring into the world? Those are questions I would really like to hear from you about, and you can let me know what you're working on. Thanks, bye-bye.